What's up, all you hot takers out there? We're back with another podcast tonight following the April 8th episode of NXT, coming at you with the hottest takes in sports entertainment. Before we jump into it, make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter at HotTakesRB and follow the homie who makes all our thumbnails, logos, etc. at underscore JPrizzle underscore. He's a real homie. He's a real G. I'm Robbie, obviously. If you've been watching the other ones, you know I'm Robbie. And I'm joined with my big dog homie, Ura Ura Ura, Brandon. Say hello. Thank you. Amazing
Impression there.
introduction. All right, Brandon. Do you have any opening thoughts on NXT before we jump into it? Because I'm going to be taking the reins for this one because that's how we're rolling.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy you got this one because I'm very excited to hear your takes on this episode. First of all, overarching thoughts. This episode was absolutely fantastic. From beginning to end, I was hooked. Uh, Ladder match, tag team match, and of course the amazing one-on-one match we saw at the end that defied the odds of wrestling, which we'll get into. But I was engaged. Take it away.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Overarching thoughts. Great fucking episode of NXT. It was leagues better than whatever the fuck Raw put on Monday. So for some opening thoughts, they had a. So before we had the show, we had that fantastic video package with Ciampa and Gargano that was detailing their rivalry.
3 years back.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, and it's such a shame though, because like the why it it's a shame that has to end in front of nobody, but I don't think it's the end. But we'll talk about that later. I don't think it's the end of their rivalry at all. I think it's the end of their rivalry in NXT. I don't think it's the end of their rivalry, period. But we'll get to that later. It's just a shame it has to end in NXT in front of no one because I think the crowd would have fucking ate up whatever they did tonight. And Mauro Ranallo was commentating tonight. Thank Christ! Oh my God! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Talk
Holy
about
crap!
commentators. This dude is 1 in a million.
He's amazing.
Phone book. He can
He's
commentate the phone book, and I'll watch.
Oh,
I'll
for sure.
listen.
He could commentate a match between anybody. He can make me care about a match between Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin inside of a steel cage
He would have
on
commented
in Saudi Arabia.
if I was about to say that if he would have commentated that match at Super Showdown, I probably would have liked it more.
Oh my God, absolutely, I would have liked it. All right, let's jump into this great episode of NXT. So we opened up with the number one contender ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. The winner faces Charlotte. They didn't say when, but I assume at the next takeover, but maybe not, maybe not. We had Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae versus Tegan Knox versus Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai versus Chelsea Green with Robert Stone. Um, Again, it's just an unfortunate situation. This match was scheduled to take place at Takeover Tampa, and like all ladder matches, um, it would have been so much better in front of a fucking crowd. It really would have. It would have been so great in front of a crowd. But just so for some backstory behind how we got here, Chelsea Green beat Shotzi Blackheart to earn her spot here. Mia Yim beat Dakota Kai to get in. Tegan Knox beat Deonna Purrazzo to get in. Io Shirai beat Aaliyah. Candice LeRae beat Kaden Carter. And Dakota Kai won a second chance gauntlet match against Shotzi Blackheart, Deonna Purrazzo, Aaliyah, and Kaden Carter to earn her spot in, where she pinned Shotzi Blackheart in the final stage of the gauntlet match. Um, which that right there. What do you think about that, Brandon? Like just listening to that, the build up to this match, doesn't it make sense? Doesn't it have direction? Doesn't it keep you intrigued?
I like when matches have purposes.
Oh my God, I love when matches have purposes. It's the best.
When non-title matches have arching storyline and have purposes like a contender match or a gauntlet match like that, it can get any wrestling fan hooked. Triple H knows what he's doing.
Exactly, exactly. I do have one more question for you. Do you think Robert Stone smashes Chelsea Green? I think he absolutely. I think every night they go back to the hotel, and he absolutely claps them cheeks.
Because he's a simp.
You think he's a simp?
Volunteer to go on that ladder and take a bump because 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 of a leg injury
For sure,
because she
he's
couldn't climb
definitely
the
a
ladder.
simp. He's definitely a simp.
If 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 there's a definition of of simp, that's it. That's it. What happened tonight on NXT?
So,
Simp,
so you don't think he smashes?
but he's still a simp.
I didn't hear if you said you think he smashes or not.
I think he does.
You
I
think he
think he does.
does? Oh, you think he does, but he's a simp. Okay,
I think he's a big enough simp to where she might smash him.
okay. And then
We're
one
getting
more.
off topic here, but this is good questions here on the podcast.
And then one final thing before we get into the actual outline of the match. Um, there's just something about Mia Yim, man. I don't I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's her theme music. I don't know if it's her look. I think she's great in the ring, but I just don't like Mia Yim. I don't know what it is. I feel like she needs a heel turn or something.
I, see, I'm glad we're on the same page because yeah, I thought she performed very well in the ring, but there was something about her that I wasn't all in on, and I
Yeah,
think that me and you are on the same page. I think I can't put my finger on it, but I think we're on the same page with that, and yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So we start the match. They ring the bell. No traditional title introduction, or not title. Never mind. We're not fighting for a title. I'm fucking stupid. I'm used to ladder matches being for titles. We go straight into the match. The women are carefully looking around the ring. Yim goes after what's her name? Chelsea Green. Io Shirai goes after Candice LeRae, and Dakota Kai goes after Tegan Knox, and they're all on the offensive. Dakota Kai gets some offense against all the women, and she tells Raquel Gonzalez, who came out with her to the ring, to bring the big ladder that was set up on the entrance ramp into the ring. Um, Candice LeRae comes and gives a drop kick to the ladder, which wipes out Gonzalez, and it looked great. The drop kick looked great. Candice LeRae is fucking awesome, by the way. I love Candice LeRae. Um, Yim, Knox, and LeRae, they surround Dakota Kai, and they all start punching her, giving her some good strikes, good offense. Then in comes Io Shirai. She lands a drop kick to Knox and Yim, and Candice LeRae was in the corner. She runs after Io Shirai, and she gets nailed with a flapjack. Shirai then goes for the ladder while Green and Robert Stone start to set up a table. Looked like they were going to try to put somebody through it. They didn't really focus on the table though, because it's Chelsea Green, whatever. Candice LeRae and Io Shirai both in the ring. Candice LeRae goes for an enziguri. She lands it. Chelsea Green enters the ring and lands a double bulldog to both Shirai and LeRae on to the ladder. And then we cut to commercial, which there's so many fucking commercials during this episode, and I hated it. There's so many. There's only 3 during this match, I think, but still, it sucks. Because if it was on a takeover, we wouldn't have got commercial breaks. Chelsea Green gets back into the ring with the chair, but Mia Yim stops her. Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai start to go to work in the ring. They start trading strikes in the corner. Knox goes for an uppercut followed by a choke slam. Chelsea Green tries to bring her ladder into the ring, but Tegan Knox takes Chelsea Green and throws her out of the ring. Then Knox takes the ladder, sets it up, and starts to climb. Dakota Kai soon follows her, climbs to the top, and grabs Tegan Knox's face, slams it on the top of the ladder. Candice LeRae comes in and she grabs Dakota Kai by the foot, pulls her off the ladder. Dakota Kai and Chelsea Green pull both Shirai and pull both LeRae and Tegan Knox off the ladder. Then Shirai and Yim both get in the ring, and then they introduce another ladder and set it up side by side. The typical ladder spot that we see in every single ladder match now, where they have 2 ladders set up in the center of the ring. All 6 women are in the ring. Yim hits the soul food, is what they call that little arm twisty foot in the face. It's called the Soul Food. She hits that on Candice LeRae. Chelsea Green picks up a chair and she starts to go to town on Mia Yim with the chair. Yim reverses um, one of the moves with the chair and then grabs it and slams Chelsea's leg with the chair, right in the knee specifically. Io Shirai hits a drop kick on Mia Yim and starts to climb the ladder. Raquel Gonzalez gets in the ring, grabs one of the ladders and fucking just threw it, and then she
Mhm.
pushes the other one with Shirai on it, and she lands on the top rope. And with her feet, she landed on the top rope and did a springboard crossbody to all the women that were standing on the outside, which was fucking awesome. That looked cool. And then we cut to commercial break. We come back, and Candice LeRae gets in the ring. Um, Raquel Gonzalez grabs her and just throws her back out. She goes over to Chelsea Green and Robert Stone, and Robert Stone's like, go away, go away. And she just kind of gets in his face and starts to intimidate him. She grabs Dakota Kai and tosses her into the ring, and she put her on her shoulders, starts to climb the ladder to try and help her get the win. Mia Yim gets in the ring, starts to attack Raquel Gonzalez, which apparently they have some type of beef, according to Mauro Ranallo. I haven't been watching weekly television until recently, so I don't know if they've had a match yet or not. They could soon. Um, Candice LeRae gets in the ring. She pulls Dakota Kai off the ladder, and then um, Gonzalez and Yim start fighting in the corner still. Knox gets up with Mia Yim to start fighting with her, and Gonzalez slowly makes her way to the top rope, where Mia Yim does like a sunset flip onto the apron where she has her in a powerbomb position. Knox hits like a right hand or something, and Yim and Gonzalez both get sent through the table, which looked awesome. Then you see Dakota Kai come back in. She grabs Tegan Knox off the top rope, puts her onto the apron. She bounces off the ropes and nails her with a boot, sending her through the ladder that broke in half. Dakota Kai starts climbing the ladder and Candice LeRae at the same time. Um, and then Io Shirai, she hits a springboard to Dakota Kai. It was like a springboard back rake, and then Kai rolls out of the ring, and so you see Io Shirai and Candice LeRae fighting inside the ring. Chelsea Green gets up, and or I'm sorry, Shirai and LeRae are fighting in the ring, and at some point they kind of fall on the ground and stop fighting. Then you see Chelsea Green get up, and she's trying to make her way up the ladder, but she starts selling the knee, which I appreciate. I love that. I love when they sell things that happened earlier in the match. And then she starts selling the ring. Robert Stone gets in the ring and hits the whole simp gimmick, as Brandon said earlier. Um, he goes to the other side of the ladder and like reaches over for her hands and starts to pull her up. Um, Chelsea Green almost grabs the briefcase, but Candice LeRae and Io Shirai both push over the ladder, sending both Stone and Green into the ropes, which Robert Stone nailed the cell on the ropes. He looked great taking that bump. Chelsea Green landed like with her leg on it or something, so it hurt her knee even more. But she was taken completely out of this match. Then you see Io Shirai and Candice LeRae climb the ladder and they start fighting up top. Io Shirai rakes the eyes of Candice LeRae, tosses her into the ladder behind her, which I assume was supposed to break but didn't. So she just kind of hit it and fell onto the ground. Io Shirai climbs all the way to the top, unhooks the briefcase, and becomes the number one contender to Charlotte Flair's NXT Women's Championship.
He's not beating Charlotte Flair.
All right. Well, there's your hot take from Brandon immediately after. Since you were so passionate about that, Brandon, why don't you tell us your general thoughts?
I don't know. I don't think she. It's just something that tells me that Charlotte Flair's ego is not going to want to drop the title to her. Can you agree with that? Maybe.
I absolutely will agree with that, but I have a proposition that is interesting. And I don't know if you thought about this yet, or if anybody's thought about this yet, but I think it's cool.
Okay.
All right, so, um, but before I Actually, no. I want to lead this one. I want to lead this. Where do we go from here? Because I think mine's cool. So obviously, since Io Shirai won, we're gonna get Io Shirai versus Charlotte. And to say the absolute least, that is much more interesting than the women's championships on Raw and SmackDown. Because at least we know, right? At least we know what we're getting. We're getting a match between these two at some point. We don't know when, but we're going to get it. And that's what's so interesting. That's what I love about this. We know we're getting it, but we don't know how we're getting there. And that's the part that excites me because I don't know how we're getting there and I don't know when it's happening. That's the unpredictability aspect rather than what's the match we're getting. I love that NXT takes that unpredictability aspect rather than the main roster where it's like, oh, we're just gonna not have storylines and not really have anything, so we have an unpredictability factor that you don't know what matches you're gonna get. And like we know what matches we're getting, we just don't know how we're gonna get there. And I love that. I love that so much because it gives you a direction, it gives you an idea of what you have, and it lets you come up with these things. The where do we goes from here? This was the easiest one to do. Not this one, but like this review was the easiest one because everything's set up. You know where everything's going, and I love it. I love it. Anyway, so we're getting that. Obviously, Io Shirai is a heel. Charlotte Flair is also a heel. So we're going to get heel versus heel. I don't know if that would particularly be set up well for a takeover, so we might not even get it on a takeover. They might just do it on a random episode of NXT, which is fine by me. In that case, Charlotte Flair's not going to lose the title.
They might
However,
even put it on a pay per view,
uh,
like a
I don't
like
think they'll
a.
put it on a pay per view, and I'll tell you why in a sec. They're definitely not going to put Io Shirai on a pay per view. Absolutely not. It'll definitely happen on a random episode of NXT, in which case that's predictable and Charlotte Flair is going to win. Or it happens at a takeover that takes place after Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank is won by Asuka. Charlotte and Io Shirai have a match at the takeover event. Asuka cashes in to make it a triple threat, pins Charlotte Flair, gets her revenge on her for burying her basically twice, and we get Asuka versus Io Shirai in NXT for the NXT Women's Championship. And Asuka goes back on her reign of terror that she had the first time she was in NXT. Please, please,
Talk
please give me that.
talk about the hottest takes in sports entertainment. I I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Please give me that. Please give me that. Please, 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 please. Oh my god. Do you have any opinions on where we go from here, Brandon?
Uh, I'm just excited to hear these promos because, like you said, there's gonna be a storyline because you know they're gonna build this up to whenever this title match is. Like we know it's gonna happen. We don't know when, but you know that the build up's gonna be good at least.
Yeah,
So we're in for some good promos. So I'm
for sure.
excited for that.
Makes you want to watch next week, right? Because you know what's gonna happen. Or not, no, you don't know what's gonna happen, or you don't know what's gonna happen. You know where we're going, but you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how we're gonna get there. So I love that. I gave this a B because it was nothing special. It was just a basic ladder match, in my opinion. The one on WrestleMania was way better than this one, but this was 6 women compared to 3 men who were absolutely unconditionally athletic, as opposed to some of the women in this match I'm not the hugest fan of, like Mia Yim. I'm really not. I think Chelsea Green's still a little green in the ring. Candice LeRae is fantastic. Io Shirai is fantastic. Um, Raquel Gonzalez is not great. Dakota Kai is cool. Even though Raquel Gonzalez wasn't even in the match, she kind of was though. She's not great. She's still green. You can tell. Um, but for sure, if this had a crowd, I think this would have been an A minus. And I gave it a B. I didn't give it anything lower than a B because just the intriguing options we have for this. This made me excited seeing Io Shirai win because it gave me hope for a Asuka return in NXT and a possible cash in on the NXT Women's Championship. And we get Asuka, Shirai, and Charlotte goes away. So that made me excited. That alone is why I gave it a B. Would you give? Did you grade this one or no? Did you grade
I did.
anything?
I graded. Yeah, I did grade.
Okay.
I gave this one a B minus. Um, Similar to the reasons you graded the way you graded. I just thought There was cool spots, but other than those spots, I thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah,
Um,
there wasn't really much substance
yeah,
besides the
but
few spots.
besides those cool spots that they had, like she threw her into a ladder. The simp came up and did all that, and
He will forever be known as the Simp. Every time we talk about NXT, we're gonna call him the Simp. That's what he should change his legal name to, the Simp.
he's the simp.
The Simp.
Yeah,
Robert the Simp Stone.
B minus, B minus from me, Robbie.
Alright.
Um,
Alright, so after that we got a replay, which was detailing Finn Balor's feud with it's Walter, because he has orchestral music as his entrance theme. Uh, and like I said, I haven't been watching weekly television as much as I would like to. But watching this replay, like this recap of the feud, it was so interesting to me, because like it's so much different than like a Raw or SmackDown feud, right? Like the Raw and SmackDown feuds you get, it's like one guy's in the ring and then another guy comes out, and then another guy comes out, and then another guy comes out, and you get a 6-man tag, and then at some point each guy in that match is gonna is gonna fight each other, right? Whereas this, it was Finn Balor. I think he beat Johnny Gargano at Takeover. He comes out and he's like, I beat Johnny Wrestling. Now what else is there for me to do? And these two guys from NXT UK come out and and they're like, by the way, the UK champion sends his respects or whatever. Like that's fucking awesome. That's fucking intriguing. Walter wasn't even there. Wasn't even there. He sent his little lackeys to go tell Finn Balor about it. And then Finn Balor shows up on NXT UK to meet up with Walter. He has a match with Alexander Wolf there, where he picks up the win, and Walter and all them get sent to the back. And then tonight we get a promo with Finn Balor that was very like up close and personal and like intense. And it was almost like the cinematic style that we saw at the end of the show, and the cinematic style we saw with AJ Taker and Cena Wyatt. Like it was done in that similar manner. I just love the way Finn talks. Like his new demeanor is fantastic. Going from the way he was on Raw way back when, all smiley and like the Colgate branded Finn. I hated that shit. And he's back to his New Japan ways where he's intense, and he's a babyface right now. And he's still being a badass. He's still intense. He's still ready to go. Like he's still legit. And I love that. I love when people are legit like that. Do you have any thoughts?
I think he's like one of the best in ring performers that we have in wrestling. Period.
Oh, for sure. He's one of the best in
Um,
the world.
man, that like you said, I haven't been watching too much weekly NXT television, so I had to get caught up. So like those recap videos were useful to me. So just seeing that recap made me in it. I'm in it now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this match.
I like I had no idea about it, but now I'm in it. And his match, that match recap with Wolf, that you said that was his name, Wolf. I mean, he looked awesome.
Alexander Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that he looked good in the ring, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the coup de grace finisher is one of my favorites.
No, it's a
So
great
like,
finish. It's
I'm a little
fantastic.
biased.
Um, yeah, I didn't grade this, but if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably give it an A. I mean,
A
it's
plus.
pretty basic. A. All right. After that, we had a promo package, which was detailing a new superstar, followed by replays of kidnappings that happened within the past couple weeks. Um, so I've heard rumors that this is actually a guy from TNA named Killer Cross, but I have no idea. All I know is that it's creepy, it's weird, but it's fucking awesome. I don't know if you have any thoughts. Did you even see it?
I did see it, and I completely agree with you. I'm confused, and I feel it. But again, I'm in it now.
Yeah, like I'm confused, but I love it.
I'm in it. I'm literally in it now. Like they have a way of making me in it, and I'm in it for
Yeah,
good. Like
for sure, for sure. After that, we had a replay debuting the debut of Indashare. The when they attacked Matt Riddle, I think their names. I had their names written down. It's Rinku and Sarah. Um,
Bruh.
I can't. Yeah, bruh. Matt Riddle's fucking
I
awesome,
love. I
bro.
do.
Matt Riddle's fucking awesome.
Quick, quick side note. I love Matt Riddle.
He's absolutely amazing. He is.
Matt Riddle.
He's probably my favorite in NXT right now, man. He's fucking awesome. He needs to be NXT champion at some point. He's so good. He's so
Dude,
good.
I heard when Roman dropped out of the match with Goldberg, I saw rumors circulating that it was gonna be him.
Yeah, because him and Goldberg have real life beef.
So like,
It's
dude,
awesome.
if Matt went on to WrestleMania because Goldberg was trying to get out, so there he was gonna drop the title. If Matt Riddle would have went in on WrestleMania and won the Universal title, I would have freaked out.
I would have lost my shit. That would have been so much. Matt Riddle could have
So
squashed him the
much
way Braun
cooler.
Strowman squashed him, and I would have lost my shit. I wouldn't have been shitting on it like we did. Yeah, it could have literally been the exact same match. It could have been spear, miss jackhammer, and then 3 power slams from Matt Riddle, and I would have still lost my shit because it's Matt
Oh
Riddle.
yeah,
It's just that simple. Anyway,
it would have went from it would have went from ungradable to like a B.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, um, they showed a attack on my boy Matt Riddle. Um, I wrote here these guys are just the Indian AOP. That's all they are. That's all they look like. They're just the Indian authors of pain. That Seth Rollins lackeys. If you know who those are, Brandon.
Yeah, of
So
course.
we used to have Paul Ellering with AOP in NXT. We get Malcolm Bivens with these guys in NXT. And Malcolm Bivens, let me tell you, is no Paul Ellering. No Paul Ellering. He's a pretty decent little mouthpiece, I think, for these guys though. He's got like this charisma and energy, and like he gets really excited when they win. And he's like, I told you they're gonna kick your ass. He's got like that sarcastic energy, which I like. But I definitely need to hear him on the microphone more before I start shitting on him, because from what I saw with Matt Riddle, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just one of those whatever. Um, Pretty basic match outline here. They faced Everrise, which I don't know who these
Yes.
guys are. I think they're at their last names. It was Martel and Parker. I don't remember Martel's first name, but Parker's first name was Chase. Do you remember Martel's first name or no?
No, and I'm not ever gonna know his first name.
Okay. Well, at least they got an entrance.
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I, that's my thing. They got an entrance, and I was confused why they got an entrance. Because if you thought that these guys were gonna win,
Yeah, of course. This was obviously a glorified squash match. It just was a squash match. Um, but yeah. So Everrise starts off with some pretty basic high flying offense on Rinku. Rinku gets up and he lands a nasty clothesline. He tags in Sarah, and they land a double shoulder tackle. Sarah tags back in Rinku, and they land a double hip toss. Martel yells defense from the outside. I thought that was funny. That was
that was
hilarious.
hilarious. Yeah.
Rinku hits the sidewalk slam onto Chase Parker. He tags back in Sarah. Sarah whips Parker into the corner, lands another clothesline, brings him to the tag corner, and tags in Rinku. Rinku tags back in Sarah after some offense. They land a corner splash, both of them, Rinku lands a corner slash, throws him into a big boot from Sarah. And then they hit the pendulum backbreaker into the elbow from the second rope for the 1, 2, 3. Pretty basic match, nothing special. If you thought Ever Rise was gonna win, you're a fucking idiot. Um, but just some general thoughts about this team. I thought that Rinku looked really good. I think Rinku is the money. That was
He
the guy
did.
that was in the ring most of the time. He's he's definitely got some in ring athleticism. He got some in ring skill. Sarah is a little green. You could tell he was a little uncomfortable out there, regardless of the empty arena. But you could definitely tell that Rinku's the guy, because he was in the ring most of the time. He has like a charisma when he's in there. He's just athletic as fuck. He hit the second row elbow drop. The elbow drop looked fucking great. I don't know what he did with his feet and body, but it looked great. Um, but hopefully these guys don't get thrusted into a title picture immediately, because I think they need to. I think that they still have some work to do. Like AOP, they did not get thrusted in immediately. They got some quality wins under their belt first, and then eventually they got the chance to face against the Revival, in which they won, and them the Revival and DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, when they were a tag team, had some great fucking matches together, and I hope that's what they get with these guys. Something similar with that, where we get like, because I don't think these guys are good enough to hold a program on their own. So I think they're going to use them in a similar role that AOP was used in which they're going to be used as a third party in a feud between the Broserweights and Undisputed Era again, just to mix it up a little bit, and they're going to end up winning the tag titles and dropping them to a team, um, that's much better, much more talented than these guys on the microphone, just better, more interesting talent or more interesting wrestlers than what these guys bring to the table. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're definitely like the AOP. They don't really have much charisma. They just go in there and they're big and they're like catalysts for storylines. They're not the face of your brand. They're not your big time money makers, and that's very obvious. So, like I said, where we go from here, they need to continue picking up wins, and then they challenge the Broserweights for the titles, and then they're probably more than likely going to win them and hold them similar to how AOP won them. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the way AOP was run in NXT, and I'm going to be cool with the way these guys are run if they do it that way, because I think that's a great way to go about a big, strong tag team that doesn't really have any mic skills with like a managerial role, just to kind of have them hold the titles and have them be backed by people who are very, very, very good in the ring, very good on the microphone, can hold and can bring up their own programs without these guys, and therefore it pushes the titles forward. They hold them for a little bit, and they end up dropping them to another team that is ultimately better and ultimately going to do more for the brand. So yeah, do you have any thoughts on that, Brandon? Before we get into our grades.
Oh, dude, you just nailed it right on the head, dude. That was perfect.
All right, I gave this a C plus because it wasn't a great match. Because
And you
obviously,
knew
yeah,
what the purpose of the match was
yeah,
for.
you knew what the purpose of the match was for. But yeah, I definitely have high hopes for the way they're going to use these guys though, because NXT really doesn't fuck up stuff like this, whereas the main roster is a different story. But we're not talking about the main roster. Um, I thought Everrise had really good potential too. I thought Chase Parker was athletic as fuck. He had like a springboard thingy that he did to Rinku. That looked great. I don't know if they're gonna get a push or anything,
They won't.
but we'll see. Maybe at some point. You don't know. You never know. Would you grade this?
I gave this a C
Okay,
because the match was a match,
it was a match.
and
Yes.
you knew the purpose of this match was to push these guys. So, C for me. Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like when we talk about main roster stuff, I'm always the negative one, or not negative, but you're not being negative. But like I'm always the one on the lower end of the grades. But in NXT, I'm just so happy. I have a smile on my face,
Oh yeah.
and you're giving
I'm
them the
not
lower
being negative.
grades. No,
I
you're
don't
not
think I'm
being
being
negative,
negative,
but you're giving it lower grades than I do, which is
which is
unusual.
completely unusual.
Yeah. Um. All right. So after this, we had, man, his he's got to be my favorite. He might be my favorite on the roster. I know I said Matt Riddle was just a few minutes ago, but Adam Cole might be my actual favorite,
Oh
man. I don't even
my
know.
god.
This guy is
Adam
fucking
Cole,
amazing. This
baby.
guy's fucking amazing. I don't know what it is about him. He's got that like,
No, it's the John Cena look. I mean, like it's like he looks like you know I don't. I'm not saying he is John like reminds me of like John Cena in the ring. I'm saying the way they pushed John Cena, the charisma about John Cena when he was being pushed is way I feel about Adam Cole, dude. Adam Cole is like the next big thing. Like
oh
I
my
hope he,
god, yes. He's fucking
I
amazing.
in ring talent, on the mic talent. He's looks amazing. He's athletic. He's beautiful looking man. He's really got it all. I mean, he's got 100. He's the whole package, and I could see he's a future WWE champion. I see it.
We'll
I
talk
mean,
about that. I actually have that written down. We'll talk about that. All right. So
Adam Cole, baby.
going over this promo. It looked like he was at his house. I don't know where he was at, but he was like outside at the pool. He
It
was
looks like he was
delivering a
at a pool.
promo to the Velveteen Dream, which is hilarious to me. He's just holding his title outside at the pool. He's addressing Velveteen Dream after Velveteen Dream beat Bobby Fish, and he says he's the greatest NXT champion of all time. Which, Mr. Adam Cole, you are so correct.
Oh right.
You're so
Oh my
correct.
god. Oh my god.
You are the greatest NXT champion of all time. He tells him that he does not deserve a title
Maybe
shot and that Cole will end an experience and there's nothing he can do about it, and that's undisputed. Like I said, this guy's fucking amazing. He's absolutely masterful on the microphone. He's obviously we didn't see him in ring, but his in ring talent is also great. I just don't want him to leave NXT ever, even though it's inevitable. But I just don't want him to. He's so awesome. He's so great. He's such a great champion. The belt looks so good on him. Any belt, fucking any belt looks good on this dude. Just
dude.
give him gold, please.
I'd like to see in the future him rekindle a feud with Seth Rollins because
Rekindle? Why you say
that was good.
rekindle?
Had a match for the NXT Championship before, right?
No. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they definitely did.
When?
I think it was like 4 months ago.
Oh shit. Was it like I I didn't watch WWE, so I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, Seth Rollins 4 months ago was NXT champion, and then Adam Cole took it from him.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah,
No, that's not true because Adam Cole's the longest reigning NXT champion and Finn Balor held it for at least a year.
let's go check.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, Seth Rollins challenged him for the title. My bad.
Oh, okay, and he lost.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Vice. It was other way around. I'm sorry, my fault.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Um
But they look good in the ring together.
oh, I bet. Yeah. So where do we go from here? Obviously, Velveteen Dream is going to respond and we'll get a match. It's obvious. It's there. It's set up. The challenge was presented. The challenge has been answered. More than likely, Velveteen Dream will win and be the next NXT champion, which I'm not saying I'm not okay with because I love the Velveteen Dream. I think he definitely deserves it. He's fantastic. But Adam Cole moves up to the main roster. I just don't want Adam Cole to move up to the main roster because I love him in NXT. He's been great in NXT, and I feel like WWE is gonna fuck him up. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see. But when he moves up to the main roster, he absolutely needs to be WWE champion, man. Like there's nothing else that I want more in my life than for him to walk around with the title around his waist and say Undisputed Era on the side plates. And he goes into the ring and he does his little finger guns in the air, and we get Adam Cole, baby, from fucking bumfuck town, New Jersey. I don't care where it is. I want it. I want it. You got any
We all,
thoughts?
we all want it. We all want it.
Yeah.
The name, dude. That on the plates on the side of the belt. It's coming. It's just only. It's soon. It's a matter of time. It's coming.
I hope it's
Future.
coming. Anyway, I gave this one an A because Adam Cole is fantastic on the microphone. I don't think there's anything else I could say about it. It's pretty simple. He's just great. I assume you gave it an A too.
A plus.
A plus. All right,
Adam Cole, baby. He doesn't deserve any less.
All right. Next up, we got a graphic that said "Breaking news: Tournament for a new NXT Cruiserweight Champion." Holy shit! Yes, please. I love tournaments. I love me some tournaments. I can't wait to watch AEW later because of the TNT Championship. I can't wait. But yes, please. Tournament for a new NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Please, 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 please. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love fucking tournaments. I love fucking tournaments. I don't care who wins. I don't even know anybody in the Cruiserweight division. I just want to see it because I fucking love tournaments. Next up, we got a replay detailing Rhea Ripley's loss, which, if you didn't see our thoughts on WrestleMania because you didn't really watch a WrestleMania, you don't care, or you're just joining us for NXT tonight, we thought it was a great match, but ultimately it was the wrong decision. Charlotte Flair definitely should not have won the title, but we'll actually get to that in a second. Because I heard rumors, and you told me you heard rumors too, that Vince and or Vince McMahon had recorded multiple endings just in case something happened, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a fact. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I know why she lost. But yeah, so we saw the promo that we saw on Raw by Charlotte. She basically just said, the title doesn't make the woman makes the title, or the man makes the title, whatever, quoting her father. Then we had a backstage segment actually of Rhea Ripley, which looked like it was in like the area of the performance center where they train new talent. She was sitting on the ground and crying, following her loss, and all she said was, "She's a lot better than I expected," and I thought that was great. Simple, just to the point, and it made sense. She was NXT Women's Champion. She lost her title. She's sad about it. It makes sense. She's not out there smiling like Asuka was after losing her tag titles. She's not, she doesn't disappear after losing her Universal Champion or WWE Champion. She was in
Let
the
me,
back, upset,
Robbie. Let me tell you this.
disappointed in herself.
Robbie, let me tell you this. Ever the next time we see a former champion, like the episode after a pay per view when a champion loses, they should act like Seth Rollins act on Monday Night Raw.
Absolutely. They should come out and be pissed. They lost their title.
And Seth Rollins didn't even lose a title. He just
Yeah, he
lost
just
a
lost.
very important match to him.
Yeah. So some detailed information. I don't know if you know this. I read this today because I was doing some research so I could get ready for the podcast tonight. Um, Rhea Ripley actually traveled home to Australia for something. I don't remember what it was, but since she participated in international travel, she was required to be quarantined in Australia, so she could not make the NXT tapings, and therefore she will be off of NXT until coronavirus and COVID-19 is completely done and international travel is back on without quarantine being an issue. So I don't know if that's why she lost the title, but that sure as hell sounds like that's the reason she lost the title.
I'm willing to bet that is exactly why she lost.
Yeah.
Because I saw that this morning on wrestling news around the internet. I saw that, but I didn't think much of it. But now that you bring it up in that light, that may be the reason why she didn't win that match against Charlotte, because she wouldn't be there for the tapings, which makes sense. Maybe when she comes back, maybe she'll be number one contender. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. They don't have rematch clauses or something right now, right? Or did they bring those back? I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but I'm saying she deserves it because that was a great match at WrestleMania.
It was a great match. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the best segment of the show and probably going to be the best thing of the week, as far as weekly television goes. Unless AEW surprises me tonight, because the Lord, everyone knows SmackDown's gonna be fucking terrible on Friday.
Oh, I can't wait for that promo from Braun Strowman.
Oh, I'm so ready. Anyway, we had Tommaso Ciampa, the Black Heart, versus Johnny Gargano, the Rebel Heart. And man, this match has been building for so long. This match has been struck with so many unlucky situations. And it just sucks. It really sucks because this match and this feud could have been one of the greatest in WWE history without all of these issues. And even with the issues, this rivalry was still one of the greatest I have ever seen. It is still fucking fantastic. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. whether they're in NXT or when they move up to the main roster, these guys are this generation's Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. 155%. There is no one else that fits that role of best friends that turn on each other but still love each other so they know they're best friends. But at the same time, I'm going to stab you in the back because I'm trying to get the upper hand. There's nobody that fits that role better than Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And actually, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are the ones writing this fucking story. So no wonder it's so goddamn good.
Of course, I mean, I completely agree. They resemble their like. I see Ciampa as Triple H and Gargano as Shawn
Of
Michaels.
course, of course. Yeah, of course. That's exactly,
Like,
yeah. Um, it's like I said, it's unfortunate the amount of unlucky situations that have happened with this. Tommaso Ciampa getting injured twice during this feud, twice, and coronavirus happening to make matters even worse. That is terrible. That is awful. Um, so they made it into an empty arena match, even though we already got an empty arena. But like when it was announced that it was an empty arena match, I was like, everything is an empty arena match. Like what? That's so stupid. What are we gonna get? Like I thought we were gonna get an I Quit match. Some people were proclaiming we get a Hell in a Cell because this is one of the only feuds that has actually required a Hell in a Cell for so long, so long. The last thing that's required a Hell in a Cell that's actually made sense was maybe Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. But everything other than that has just been nothing. Nothing has needed a Hell in a Cell. This this I could see needing a Hell in a Cell. And we didn't get a Hell in a Cell, but what we got tonight was still fucking fantastic, which we'll get into some of that. But kayfabe wise, Triple H created it, and realism wise, he created it because he writes for NXT and he produces NXT. But he came out and he talked to them and he said one of you is gonna win this match, or he said one of you is gonna walk out and the other one's not, and he said if you ever engage again following this match, you will both be sent packing from NXT. You will not be able to show your face ever again in NXT, and that's great. That's a great storyline. That's amazing. Lay it all on the ring. Leave it in the ring, and if you don't leave it in the ring, you're out of here. That's fucking amazing. Um, so I didn't expect to get what we got tonight. I thought we were gonna get uh,
me neither.
a match in the NXT Performance Center or in Full Sail University like we got with everyone else. I thought we were just gonna get that, and we were gonna get a one-on-one match between Gargano and Ciampa. But what we got was a AJ Styles versus Undertaker and John Cena versus Bray Wyatt esque type of style. Even though this one was less so, this one was less cinematography than we got with the other ones because this was an actual wrestling match, whereas Cena versus Bray wasn't a match, and Styles versus Taker was like a buried or boneyard match, so it happened in a different location. This happened in a different location, but it was still a match. There was still a ring and everything, but the way it was filmed was like as a fucking action TV show, and I loved it. It was awesome. And so when we start the match, Triple H is just sitting in a chair in the
That
ring.
was so badass.
That was so badass. Just sitting in a chair like a fucking I don't even know. Like just the like a god. Like he controls these guys' careers. He controls their contracts, which he does. He controls everything about these guys. It just it's awesome. Sitting in the chair and it's in a literal fucking warehouse. It's not even in Full Sail. It's in like a garage. Or no, it was in a high school gym. It was definitely in a high school gym because they had that one spot where they pulled off the tarp and it was bleachers. So it's happened in a high school gym. Um, but yeah, it was awesome. I don't think I could ever even do it justice. Just like
I
AJ
know.
Taker, just like Bray
I
Cena.
know you said. I know you said you couldn't even take. You weren't gonna even take notes during this match because it was so engaging.
I mean, yeah, this feud is the best thing on WWE television. It's been the best thing on WWE television for the longest time, and um, it's I can't sit here and not fully invest myself into it. And I even if I were to try to, I can't do it justice. It was just too good. You have to go watch it. If you're listening to this and you have not watched it, please just go watch it because it was good. It was great, and it had one of the most brutal chair spots I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you
God.
remember that when the chair was set up in the corner and he threw him into the chair.
Yes.
That was fucking
Robbie,
disgusting.
I watched every millisecond of this match.
Okay, it had that. It had the spot with the DDT on the wood. It had a great little ending sequence. Uh,
Oh, they had me. They had me. It
they
tricked
definitely
me.
had me. Yeah, it was awesome. Um, so I don't have a play-by-play match outline for this one, but I do have my general thoughts. Um, it was the entirety of the last hour. First and foremost, I'm going to start with a negative because most of what I have to say is positive. But a big negative to this match was that there were so many commercial breaks. Oh my god, they were so frustrating. I just wanted to watch this from beginning to end. I didn't want all these goddamn commercial breaks. And
The
if it would
best
have
thing about it
happened,
is that the best thing about it is that that's not something they could have changed. That's something they had to deal with. So like, negative is to me is a good negative because it's not we're not critiquing anything in the ring. So I'm happy with calling that a negative. To me,
oh
that's a,
yeah, of course.
commercials
Of all
is
the
like
things to say that's a negative, that's like number one that I want to say. Nothing that the performers did. It was just there's so many fucking commercials. I just wanted to watch the match. I just wanted to watch them kill each other. Please. It was just really frustrating. Um I actually have one more negative. That's
okay.
it. One more. One more little thing. In a way, this reminded me of Randy Orton versus Edge in a sense that it dragged on for a very long time. There were spots in this match where I was like, okay, can we just get it over with? Like, can we just move on to something else? Like, they were staying
Yeah, but
inside the
then
arena for a
but
while, and then they definitely kept me engaged because they would stay in the gym and then they moved outside and then they came back in the gym and then they pulled up the apron and then they did this and they did that and they had the ending. So like I'm not saying that it dragged on. I think Edge and Randy Orton dragged on a lot more. There was a lot of things in Edge Randy Orton that was not interesting at all and them just doing normal wrestling moves to each other, just not in the ring.
yeah, these
Um
two guys just went outside on the truck, and Gargano gave some vicious super kicks
yeah,
that looked awesome on top of this truck. I liked it. I really didn't think it dragged on. I was engaged every second.
it definitely didn't
Like,
drag on as much as Orton Edge, but it did. It had some spots that I was like, all right, it's getting a little lethargic here. But it was an hour long. The match was an hour long
yeah, but
because
the
of the commercial
yeah,
breaks, so I could understand why. Um, but I just don't get why Edge and Orton wasn't filmed like this. Could you
oh
imagine?
my god,
That'd been fucking
if
awesome.
if Edge and Orton's match in WrestleMania was filmed like this, that may have been the best thing in one of the best things in WrestleMania history. It had so much potential.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish it would have been filmed like this. It would have made it so much better. I don't even get why they didn't do it like this. Either way, um, the best part of the match was easily the last 10 minutes. It was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. Candice LeRae came out of the car and she was talking to both Johnny and Tommaso, and she was like, "Look what you guys are doing to each other. Like what are you doing? You're best friends." Johnny's getting up on the ropes. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you?" There was a lot of cursing in this match, by the way.
I
They had a
loved it.
lot of bleeps. The dialogue. I forgot to mention that the dialogue between Champa and Gargano was incredible.
The best thing I've ever heard,
Incredible.
dialogue wise, and since the coronavirus, you've been noticing a lot of dialogue in between superstars. So since the empty arena era started, this is definitely the best dialogue between two wrestlers I've seen
Yeah, it was
since they
amazing.
started.
But yeah, so Candice LeRae comes in. She's like, "Johnny, what are you doing? What are you doing?" She's talking to Champa. She's like, "You made me hate my husband. I hate him. I hate him. Look what you made me do." She's like, "Finish him. Just do it. I'm tired of the person he's become. I don't like the person he's become. Finish it. Finish it." And Johnny's like crawling over to her and she goes, "Fine. I'll finish it." And she lays him with a kick to the nuts. And I was like, What the fuck? What? I was shocked. I had no idea. And so you see Champa, he's like, "I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry." He's like, "I can't believe we did this to each other. Like we're best friends. We
It
we
had you.
yeah,
It had you.
he was like, we shouldn't be doing this." Tommaso, true baby face right there, telling him, we made a mistake, all this, and then all of a sudden you don't even see her. You're literally just looking at Johnny and Champa in the middle of the ring, and at the corner of your eye, you see Candice LeRae come back and deliver a low blow to Tommaso Ciampa, and she just has the biggest smile on his face, and Johnny's laughing his ass off, and he pulls out a cup from his fucking pants, and he's like, "This ends here.
You
This is
lose.
where we end it."
You lose.
Yeah, you lose, and he grabs him and he hits him with oh man, I can't remember the name of the move, but it's like a modified pedigree type move thing where you lift him in the air onto the wooden part of the ring and pins him for the 3 count. It was absolutely amazing. The conniving prick Johnny Gargano is fully in effect and fully moving forward, and I love it. I fucking love it. Love it. Because Johnny Gargano, I always saw as true babyface. I saw him as the guy that could be the next Dan O'Brien, or as the guy that could be like a babyface Shawn Michaels. But in the same sense that Shawn Michaels and Triple H both traded roles, Triple H was heel sometimes while Michaels was babyface, and Michaels was heel while Triple H was babyface sometimes. In the same sense, we're getting the same thing with these guys. Tommaso Ciampa is true babyface, and Johnny Gargano is conniving, prick-like fucking heel, and I fucking love it. I love it so much. He has this. It's something about his smile, dude. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm just gonna start off and say I gave this an A plus. This was an A plus. Just the
Yeah.
way it was filmed.
What was your what was your opinion on conniving Johnny Gargano, prick-like? Because I know you said
Perfect.
he's like Sami Zayn, but I think he's better than Sami Zayn.
He was Sami Zayn by the way, just the way he was acting. 2 weeks ago, when Triple H was asking him how much time he needed, and when they were in the ring, and when he said, "Y'all think you're bigger than NXT, that you're not, both of y'all, it's not big enough for NXT," and he says, "Well, it is," and that whole thing. I thought he was acting like Sami Zayn because he's like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me," similar to how Sami Zayn acts around with his posse.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that, but he really didn't act like that at all. I thought he was his own thing today.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
but
Thought he was
he's
perfect.
definitely full force. You think he's definitely going full force heel after this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah. I agree with you. I
because
agree with that. Yeah.
I went back and forth in my head. I didn't know if they were gonna go full force heel because I didn't know if they were gonna play the story that that's what he needed to do to beat Tommaso Ciampa. But I think they're gonna go full force heel. Just the way he was smiling and talking to Candace after the match.
Now
Um,
here's a real question. What do you think the crowd reaction would have been to him if this was exact if what we saw was exactly in front of a crowd? Do you think him pulling out the cup would it, how do you think a crowd would have reacted to that?
oh my God, the crowd would have went crazy. They would have went nuts. I think they I think I don't know if he would have got booed. I think they would have went nuts for the entirety of this match, and Johnny might have got booed after beating Tommaso Ciampa.
I think he would have got booed. I think it would have been a boo, but like an engaging like boo from the
Oh yeah,
audience,
for
not
sure.
the Roman Reigns boo.
Yeah, not the Roman Reigns boo. So just some ideas for where we could possibly go for here from here. I actually wrote a lot and under where we go from here because this is so interesting to me. Um, so like I said, Johnny turning into the conniving little prick, fully now, fully heel. Um, he more than likely, I think, is going to stay in NXT since he won this match. And he's going to go after Velveteen Dream when Velveteen Dream is crowned the new NXT champion. Because where does he go from here, right? He beat Tommaso Ciampa, former NXT champion, great NXT champion, had a great run. Only lost the title because he got hurt. And Tommaso Ciampa was fucking fantastic as NXT champion. They had a great match. I mean, obviously, Johnny won, so he has to go somewhere. He's gonna go for the NXT championship. I don't think he's already won the North American championship, but I don't see him fitting that role. He doesn't really fit that role in my opinion. I think Tommaso Ciampa is going to move up to the main roster so we can get away from Johnny Gargano because like they said, if they engage again in a fight, Triple H is going to send them both packing, or he's going to move to the main roster and go and turn heel again, go on a mid card run maybe for like an Intercontinental or U.S. title, and then eventually make his way up to the main event level. I would like to see him as a heel win the Money in the Bank contract, win the WWE Championship, or just win the WWE Championship ultimately. And then when Johnny gets pulled up, they can relive their feud that they had in NXT, and then maybe we get a Hell in a Cell then. Like I said, I don't think the feud's over. I think it's over in NXT, but I don't think it's over. Period. I think Vince is going to eat this up when he sees these guys come up, and Hunter and Shawn Michaels are going to be like, these guys are your money makers. This is your Triple H Shawn Michaels storyline if you want it again, and Vince is going to eat it up. But if not, if he doesn't go to the main roster just yet, Ciampa can go on a babyface run in NXT and maybe move down to a mid card level because he lost, where he could have a match with Keith Lee. I would like to see that, or maybe Keith Lee loses and he has a match with somebody else, and because Keith Lee is going to move up to the main roster, that's inevitable at this point. Vince McMahon has already stated he wants Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, so we're going to get that. I hope we get that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Ciampa could pick up the North American title. Who knows? Or he could form another tag team. I don't really want to see that. I'd more or less want to see him either get the North American title or move up to the main roster and get the U.S. title or something like that. But regardless, I have faith. I have faith if both of these guys are still in NXT following this, I have the utmost faith in Triple H to do them justice and do this storyline justice and make it worthwhile. I do. I don't know about you, but I definitely think we see Johnny going after the NXT champion.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And just to build off what you just said, I could see Gargano going for the NXT Championship, but yes, I could see Ciampa going for the Intercontinental title. I could see it. I could see it perfectly.
Yeah,
Going to like
babyface Ciampa versus a heel Sammy. That'd be
him
cool.
going to. I think he would fit perfectly in SmackDown in that role and then winning that title.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Just
I graded this. I did not give it an A plus. I gave it an A, actually. Um, I do not want to give anything an A plus that I do not believe to be one of the best things that I'm going to see all year. This could definitely be one of the best things that I see all year, but as of right now, first thoughts, I don't think it will be. I think there's going to be other matches that are going to outshine this one, and I honestly had it at an A minus the whole time I was watching. I had it at A minus until we got to the closing segments with the twist that turned into another twist, which was awesome. It had a great presentation, obviously amazing build up, and it definitely delivered. Although I said it did drag a little bit, that's why I had it at an A minus. Um, which it's whatever. I definitely think that this, out of the three cinematic presentations that we got, this was the worst of the three. And that's not a knock on anything because it was still fantastic. It was still great. Because all three of them were great.
I don't like saying the worst of the three. I think it'd be better saying it was 3 out of 3.
It was not as good as the
Like
other two.
if you're making Taker, Cena, Fiend, and then Gargano, Ciampa. But I don't want to. I hate saying worse because it was still like engaging.
It was
just
still
like
awesome. It was still great. But yeah, it like I said, it was not as good as the other two cinematic experiences or presentations, but it certainly was better than everything that we saw on Monday Night Raw combined. All 3 hours of Raw combined was worse than this 1 hour of NXT.
I still can't get over. I'm still thinking about that Seth Rollins segment when he came out.
Okay, that was good. That was good. But other than that, everything on Raw fucking sucked. Come on.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree.
And of course, I honestly think it was better than everything Saturday and Sunday. All the matches Saturday and Sunday was better than all of them, besides the two, besides AJ Taker and Cena Bray. But yeah, for sure, this lived up to the hype. It lived up. It was great. It was great, and I love talking positive about wrestling. I really do. It makes me so fucking happy. You said you gave this an A plus. Do you have any explanations why you gave it an A plus?
Oh, I gave this an A plus because I mean this dates back 3 years. We got Triple H running this, so the storyline was amazing. Two great in ring competitors. The creativity throughout this match. I loved how they went on top of the truck. I love super kicks. So the super kicks we saw from Gargano were just I mean beautiful. Of course the ending, like when his wife and he says I hate my husband, and you had us they had us thinking that that was going to be how it ends, that they were going to make up. But then all of a sudden she comes out and gives Ciampa a low blow, and then he calls him a loser, and Gargano wins. That's that's why we watch wrestling. We watch wrestling for great in ring competition, great storylines, and just like athleticism. I mean, this is why we chose to be wrestling fans. So I'm this is an A plus for me. I mean, this is the definition of why we watch, and I know you can't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. So overall thoughts of the show, just overarching. We already kind of talked about it in the beginning, but great episode of fucking NXT, man. I would have loved to see
I love
all
it.
these matches happen on a takeover, though. I would have loved to see the ladder match. I would love to see this whatever we got between Johnny Gargano. They didn't name a stipulation. They just kind of let them go. I guess it was technically an empty arena match.
Yeah, Triple H just kind of set that up, and he just threw the chair in the middle of them in the ring,
Yeah.
which made it feel like a no DQ match.
Yeah, I think
So
they
yeah,
just named it Empty Arena, which I mean we've seen that before in WWE history, so I think it was just Empty Arena match. But I would have loved to see that on a, you know, episode of or on a takeover. That'd have been so awesome. Um, Commercial breaks though fucking suck. They're the bane of my existence. I hate it. I hate commercial breaks on a wrestling show, especially mid match, man. It sucks. It just sucks so much, especially on
patient.
something that was so good like Gargano Champa. It honestly, it just ruins the momentum of the match, and it makes me uninterested. But I mean, I can't do
Jesus,
anything about it, huh?
be more patient, brother.
Be more patient. Why?
I'm just saying. I'm just messing with you. Like you said, you hate commercial breaks. I'm gonna just display a little patience, and then you're good. But I see what you're saying. I was just messing with you.
All
I agree.
right. And finally, we kind of talked about this earlier. I mentioned this multiple times throughout this review. Every single thing that happened on this show, from the main event to the small little snippets that we got of Rhea Ripley crying in the back, every single bit of this show had some type of meaning and had some type of character development, some type of direction. Every recap, every replay, everything. We got a replay tonight of a match, and it still had something. We had a replay of a match that happened on the WWE Network, which we've been getting on Raw and SmackDown, but those have been matches that don't fucking matter. This is a replay of a match that was on NXT UK that furthered a storyline with Finn Balor and Walter, which I'm now even so much more interested in because they showed me this recap. Now, granted, I could have went and watched it, but they didn't even show me the full match. They showed me a portion of the match to let Finn Balor look really good, and the portion where the storyline started developing in the ring, which is great. Every single thing that happened on tonight's show has meaning, has direction, and we know what we're going for next week. The storyline set up for next week, I could name right now, and that's exactly what we want. We want storyline set up for next week. We just the the unpredictability aspect comes in the fact that we don't know what we're getting out of the storyline. We don't know what we're going to get out of Io Shirai Charlotte. We don't know what we're going to get out of Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa. We don't know what we're going to get out of Velveteen Dream Adam Cole. We know that we're getting Velveteen Dream Adam Cole, but we don't know how. We don't know why. We don't know what stipulation. We don't know who's going to win. We don't know who's going to have momentum going into that. We don't know, we don't know who Velveteen Dream's going to beat on the way there. We don't know the reasoning that he got put into this match. We don't know the backstage attacks that we're gonna get, or the good interactions between both of them. It's exciting. It's exciting. Every single thing that happened tonight made me excited to watch next week. I want to watch next week. I wish it was tomorrow so I could watch it tomorrow because I want to know what happens.
And this
I'm excited.
and, and this is why we watch wrestling. This is why we're wrestling fans.
Exactly.
For the
Not for
for
whatever
an
the
episode.
fuck we got on Raw. So yeah, I'm excited for everything that we're getting. I'm excited for the direction that they're going because I think everything's good. There was nothing on the show that disappointed me. There's no direction that disappoints me. Everything is I got a smile on my face, and I'm definitely excited for the next NXT takeover. I can't wait because I know they're gonna fucking kill it because they couldn't put on this one. I know Triple H is gonna have his best foot forward. He's gonna be looking to nail that thing out of the park because we couldn't get a takeover earlier in the year because of coronavirus. So overall grade, I gave the show an A minus, simply because the minus part came in with the ladder match being pretty stale and the um, the the tag team squash match. I mean, obviously the squash match is going to give. I'm just going to give that a C plus. That's averaging out to an A minus. And like I said, the main event of the show dragged on for a little bit, but not really much at all. But for the most part, everything was really good on this show. A minus is still good. That is a fantastic grade for a wrestling show, in my
Yeah, and
opinion.
I'm gonna have to give it an A minus too. I mean, for the exact reasons you stated. And again, A minus is a. I mean, for a show like tonight, that's a great grade. I mean, we got good content. A minus for
We
me.
got good. Yeah, we did. We did good content. All right. Um, so that's it for us. We're getting the hell out of here. But we will be back tomorrow night with your AEW Dynamite review, where we had Cody take on Sean Spears, and I think we had Lance Archer take on somebody else. I'm pretty sure. We had the first couple matches in the TNT Championship tournament, which I am very, very, very excited for. Very, very excited for.
Absolutely,
With Chris
tournament
Jericho,
of the
Chris
best.
Jericho on commentary. So that's fucking awesome. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to do the review for that. I'll be taking the reins on that one like I did tonight. And then Brandon will be doing his Friday review of SmackDown. And if you stuck with us all the way here, I'll let you in on a little secret. We are trying our best to get some more content to the channel regarding possibly some wrestling video game stuff. So you could be seeing that really soon.
You just have to stick
Hopefully,
with us, hot takers.
hopefully by Monday. Hopefully by Monday we'll get something. I'm not gonna give away what it is, but hopefully by Monday we'll get it. All right.
And one more thing, if you didn't listen to Robbie in the beginning, please follow us on our Twitter at Hot Takes RB at Hot Takes RB. If you want to follow who makes our channel art at underscore JPrizzle underscore. And thanks for listening.
Yep.
Robbie sent us out.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you hit that like button. Comment. Let us know if you have any suggestions for us as well that we could improve our product that we're giving to you guys. We're trying to give you the best product that we can with the hottest takes in sports entertainment.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
hit that subscribe button if you want more content like this, and of course other stuff. Hit the little eye in the top right of the screen as well, so you can see our Raw review as well as WrestleMania Part 1 and Part 2. Um, and yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.